Okay, so we know that any accusations that the enemy wants to throw at us does not stand, right? As Christians, we already have the victory. We already are all set for life. We are going to have trials, but the accusations just don't stand. So, Kevin says I'm making slanderous accusations against Mr. May in retaliation for filing for divorce, that there was no domestic abuse. Really, Kevin? You were there? Really, Kevin? So yes, as I just said in another video, he pushed me. I have my son as a testimony against their dad. Not only that, but there were several times he did things. Like I remember we rode in a truck to go pick up this generator from someone at his work, and he was taking a hissy. He actually slammed the truck so hard that I almost hit my head on the windshield. And then he slammed it down so hard, and he's like, "You want to walk? You want to walk? You can walk." And I remember telling Bruce about this when we went and got counseling. So yeah, he was pretty rude at times. And we know that people who work with domestic abuse, like Tessa over here, I had called them when I got over here. I have called other people about domestic abuse. Most women won't report it. They won't, because they're trying to get along, right? And you try to be nice to a guy and say, you know what? Not really going to call the police on you because this time you did it once, you didn't do it before, you didn't touch me before, but that verbal abuse is what leads to physical abuse. So you're like, okay, I'm going to let it go, but it better never happen again. And, you know, he said sorry. He was like Jekyll and Hyde with his mood swings. He said sorry. Then he'd do something again, and then he's screaming at me about my job at the lobster pool, and then he's like, I'm sorry, then he's screaming again, and, he wanted to come back home, and the reason why he was in the truck is because of domestic abuse. So he has tried to say, oh, you're so cruel. Well, he had a reason for being in his truck, and I told him, no, he's not coming back, and he said sorry, but we can see from here that he's not sorry, because he's not admitting to domestic abuse. And I do have the records. I have it on my phone of him apologizing, and his words were he was very sorrowful. So you can forgive somebody, but whether you trust them again, that's a whole nother story. And obviously my gut was right with not letting him back in the home, because he's obviously not sorry. And I can put those records together very easily for the court.